let's just let that sink in. Yeah. Hello and welcome back to the Heritage and Home Crochet Podcast. I'm your host Deja and I'm so happy to be here with you today. So in today's video, I have a lot to share with you. I have a mini yarn haul, and on top of that, I have a traditional whips and bows video for you today. I know it's been quite a while, but believe you me, I have been working on a lot of stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So guys, let's kick the video off with our yarn haul. And I have, surprise, surprise, bamboo yarn to show you. I know that's like all I've been hauling lately, but it's for a good reason. It's for my pattern, which I'll talk to you more about in a little bit. But the first yarn I have to show you is the Yarn Bees Bamboo-tiful yarn. You can see that. This is in the color linen. The specs on this yarn, I've talked about this before in one of my previous videos, is 50% cotton, 50% viscose from bamboo. It is 4 ounces, 113 grams, 257 yards, and it is considered a lightweight 3 yarn. And it is a true pretty linen color. It's like a creamy off-white color, but it has a hint of like tan and gray to it. So it gives you this pretty linen color. I actually have a total of 3 of that particular yarn. This is in the color mustard. See that? And this one is in the color Cerulean Sea. There it is. Pretty, pretty. It's coming off a little bit periwinkle, but it's sort of like a sky blue with a hint of gray undertone to it. So it's kind of like the sky before it rains, actually. It's a really pretty color. And the last yarn that I have to show you is Truboo. I've never gotten a chance to work with Truboo. And it is a 100% rayon from bamboo yarn. The specs on it is 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 241 yards, also considered a lightweight 3 yarn. And this one is in the color Mulberry. So yes, this is the Truboo yarn. And the reason I'm getting so many bamboo yarns is because, as you know, I have been working on creating this pattern for this hat. It looks a little bit different than the last time y'all saw it, but I think I finally also pegged a name for it, but I'm not gonna talk about that until the time comes. So yes, I got a lot of bamboo yarn so that I can make sure that I'm consistently working the pattern up and that it's looking the exact same. Everything is beautiful so that when it comes time to send it out to other people to test, I know that I had a consistent result with it and I have something to measure it by. With that being said, that is all for our yarn haul. And next we're gonna go into finished objects. So just because I was talking about the hats, so I have this one hat that I already made. You guys have seen this one before. I love it. I did I did take the ridge off. It was a single crochet ridge on the hat. I took it off first of all to see how I did it in the first place to write up for the pattern, but second of all so I can see how it would look with an alternative finishing and to see if I wanted to write that into the pattern as well. So there's that, the first one. And the second one I made was in this white yarn right here. This is Coboo, which is very interesting for crocheters. So this is the hat that worked up in Coboo. It's in the color white. Coboo is a 51% cotton yarn and a 49% rayon from bamboo yarn. The pattern in this particular yarn is not great. It actually came out a lot bigger than the original hat, and I'm still trying to figure that one out. But anyways, this is the second finished object. I guess the other hat's not considered a current finished object, but anyways. And then here is the hat worked up in a 50% merino, 25% acrylic, 25% nylon yarn, and it is the Must Be Merino yarn. It looks like this, and it is in the color silver gray. So that's this hat, and it's really beautiful. I love it. It has a lot more structure than what I really wanted for the pattern, but I'm not mad at it because it does give it more of a beret feel, and this hat is meant to be a spin off of a beret. So yeah, there's that. And then the third finished object, the technically third finished object, is what I'm wearing now. I actually finished this tonight. It is a cow neck tee. It's a free pattern here on YouTube, as well as a PDF that you can get. It's from the YouTube channel Yay for Yarn. I started making this a while ago, but I kind of put it down. I wasn't really happy with the way it was finishing up, but I made some tweaks to it today. And finished it, and this is how it looks, and I really like it. So it's primarily made out of half double crochets in the back loop, but then right here where you're supposed to have a cow neck, it didn't really work out for me on my top. For some reason I followed the pattern to a T, but it didn't work out for me to actually have the like cow neck part of it the way hers did in the picture, but I still like it a lot. But right here where the cow is supposed to be, it is with double crochets in the back loop, and it's in a sort of in a V shape like that. So it's like the longest row of double crochets in the back loop is here, and then it gradually gets shorter and shorter and shorter until they go to half double crochets right here. So yeah, that is this pattern. I really like it, and it is in this yarn, Must Be Merino, in the color olive. You can see that. I love this yarn. It's no secret, I love merino wool, and this one, because it has nylon in it, it has so much stretch and give. It's just gorgeous, and it kind of outlines my top really well. I really just love it. It has that nice classic, for me it's more of a boat neck, but I really like it, and it has a really classy feel to it. So I might make something else out of the yarn to complement this. But yeah, so that is it for finished objects, and now we can go on to my massive pile of whips. So many. So the first whip I'll show you, because it does connect with what I've been talking about. So I am working up the hat pattern again, using the Truboo in the color Mulberry. So it's so interesting because Coboo works up, which is the cousin to Truboo basically, works up in a little bit bigger than the original pattern for my hat, but Truboo works up smaller. So this is the hat. This is the scale that I really want it to be on, and this is how it looks with Truboo, but this is how it looks with Coboo. So I'm trying to find a really good substitute yarn for this pattern, because I know there's a lot of people, you know, for various reasons, who can't have access or don't have access to Hobby Lobby yarns. So I'm trying to find a good substitute. It's not promising right now, but I'm working on it. So anyways, that is my first whip. I ended up getting 2 of the Truboo yarns because it's in such a teeny tiny skein. I just wasn't sure if it was going to be enough yarn, because actually for all of the other hats I had like the tiny, like maybe a couple yards left of yarn. So I just wanted to be safe, and I ended up having so much extra yarn, like I could probably make another hat out of one skein of the yarn, because it's going to work up so small. But I'm really curious to see how it looks when it's finally worked up in the Truboo yarn, even though it's going to be on a smaller scale. So I'm excited for that. Again, if you are interested in testing this pattern, let me know, because I am at the pretty much the finishing stages. This is like the 5th time I've worked up the hat, and I'm pretty much gonna be at the point where I'm gonna release it to testers. I have a few people at my local yarn store who are willing to test it for me, as well as some of you guys who have offered to test. So if you're interested in testing, let me know, because I really would love to get as much feedback as possible before I release this pattern. So yeah, that is my first whip anyways, which is this beanie that I'm making, or beret beanie anyways. The second whip I have is this beautiful top. I alluded to it in one of my previous videos. So here is the top so far. It's supposed to be a peplum, but I think I'm gonna just end up having it be cropped, and wearing it with like I can't wait to finish this. I'm waiting on more yarn to be able to finish my back panel and my sleeves. But my local yarn store, they ran out of this color, which is called Ballet Slipper. So I need them to get that back in stock before I can finish working on my project. I could order it online, but I really do want to support my local yarn store. The owner and I, we have a good relationship, so I really love to support her whenever I can. And so the back of this top actually looks like this. So yeah, it's really beautiful. I love this little detail right here. So it is the Suzette stitch for like 3 stitches, and then, or yeah, for like 3 stitches it's a Suzette stitch, and then it goes back into half double crochets in the back loop. But it's so cute on, you guys, and I love doing crochet stitches in the back loop because it just gives you such a beautiful contour to your body. So I love it. It just kind of hugs you and snuggles you in. So that's this shirt. I can't wait to finish that for you guys so you can see that. And then I'm working on another shirt pattern. You might remember this from previous videos back in the winter time. I just got super frustrated. I would say the springtime, because I got frustrated with it because the summer was coming and I didn't really want to be working with like wool yarn like that, especially one that's so like wintry. And so it's this top right here. And it's made with this beautiful yarn from the brand Andorra yarn. I got it from Boston. I haven't even found it locally anywhere, but it's gonna be this cute, I call it like an apron top. I do have a picture of the design that I'm trying to make with it, but it's this right here. I am gonna end up having to frog some of the front portion so that I am able to create this look, but that's what I want to make with it. So yeah, I picked it up, and that's what I've been trying to do, is sort of just finish some of the projects that I already have, because there's so many things that I already have that I kind of just tabled for later. So I'm trying to pick those back up and finish those out so I can get those out, because I do really want to release some more patterns this year. So there's that, and it has this pretty blue at the bottom, this light blue, but the majority of it is dark blue, but I do want to have light blue, this yarn right here, for the sleeves. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do some tweaking to this pattern, but I cannot wait to finish it, and I'm glad that it's like in its last stages. It's just really hard for me working with 2 solid color yarns that I don't have. I have such a limited supply. As you can see, I have that problem a lot, because this one I've run out of yarn, and you know, I just decided I'm just gonna finish my design because I have access to the yarn. I just have to go and get it and, you know, wait for it to come in. But for this one, I don't have more yarn. I'd have to buy it online, and it's not the price that I want it to be. So I'm just gonna try to do what I can with this yarn because I have so much of this one left, and just a little bit of this blue one left. So I don't know, but I will be working on that because I really want to finish that and get that out of my projects, my unfinished objects area. So the next project that I have is so funny because I didn't realize that this is a common theme, a dark blue with a light blue. that you know, I really like that combination together, but it seems that I do. And so with this, I am going to be making a duster. I have 2 balls of each of these. They're really big. It's the Bernat Velvet from Yarn Inspirations Bernat Velvet. You can read that. So I don't have both of the color names right now. Vintage Teal is this one, and this one I don't remember the name of it, but it's another blue color. And so I got these two, and then this is the first panel here. It looks like this, and this is the back panel. It kind of stretches out when you like put it against your body, but yeah, when you hold it, it doesn't look very wide. But I love how slinky, and it kind of gives me a flapper vibe, like a 20s sort of loungy sort of vibe. I love it. So yeah, I thought I wanted to make a duster cardigan with it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I am using the V-stitch for that. It's hard to see it in this crushed velvet, but yeah, it's definitely a V-stitch. And so I'll be doing it mostly in this color, but then at the very bottom, like the t-shirt that I'm making, it's gonna have this lighter blue. And in the middle here, I'm trying to do a little bit of shaping, so I did taper in the middle here using some just single crochet stitches to taper it in and give it this kind of waist, like, you know, like a tapered waist look. So this is the back panel, and then the front panels, I have a picture that I'm going to show you. This is my design book. Yeah, so this is what I want it to look like, sort of like this vibe. And it's going to have some fringe at the bottom here, and then it's going to be in the V-stitch here and here, but single crochet here. And I'm thinking I'm going to do single crochet for the sleeves, and they're going to be 3/4 length sleeves. And then the very cuff of the sleeve is going to be in the lighter blue. So it's going to be really cute. And I'm thinking I may do a little bit of ribbing around the opening of the cardigan. I am not sure, and if I do, it's not going to be very obvious ribbing, but it's just going to be something to kind of give that a nice finish to the edges. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with that. And I can't wait because it's gonna be so cozy. Like, if I just lay this on top of me, I instantly feel warm. Like, it's so warm right now, you know, having this on. And I'm so excited to have this, because, you know, if you're anything like me in the summer and fall, like, people just love the air conditioner on like all year round, and I get so cold, and so this will be perfect for me all year round to have this. So yeah, that is that. Last one is this blanket. I mean, you guys have seen this blanket before. I showed it to you in some previous videos, and the reason why I'm showing it to you is because I'm gonna have to frog this blanket. Let's just let that sink in. Yeah, I'm gonna have to frog this blanket because I'm gonna run out of yarn. And the problem is that I made it too long. Like I discussed in one of my previous videos, I made the blanket too long when I was making the foundation chain, and because of that, I'm going to run out of yarn. And I have plenty of yarn to make a decent blanket, but not with the way that it's currently going. So I'm gonna have to frog it, all of it, and do it over again. But I really want this blanket to be made, so I'm going to do that. And I mentioned in my previous video when I did share this blanket in my whip that this yarn is very hard to work with. It's not hard to work with, but it's rough on the hands because it's all recycled like acrylic. So it honestly feels like sandpaper on my fingers. So to combat that, I got this cool thing. It's sort of another type of yarn guide, but it's a little bit different. So it looks like this. I'm pretty sure I didn't show you guys this. So it looks like this right here. And you stick it on your finger like that, and it has this little lift here. And you just open this up, and then you feed your yarn through here, and it has these little pegs. I don't know if you can see the little pegs. Do you see that? And you can feed it through, and it'll kind of keep it in place, and you push this back down, and that way it's not rubbing against your finger and giving you like yarn burn, because I am honestly sick of it. create so much fatigue for me. Like I'm not able to crochet for as long as I want to, which is hard because obviously I have all these projects that I need to finish. So I got this to help me. I do have another yarn guide. You guys have seen it. It's like the metal one that's kind of like spiraled around your finger, and it's got the two little like circles hanging off of it. That one does not work because it continually twists around your finger. And even though this one twists, the yarn can't fall out. There's like no way for the yarn to fall out. But in the other one, it falls out all the time, and it's just more frustrating than trying to crochet without it. So as far as business insights and updates, things are going really well. I do have an appointment with a small business development center in the area where I live, and I have a draft for my business plan, which is really awesome. They're going to help me build a website and fund the website, as well as get all kinds of things for storage and shipping and all of that. Right now, the hardest thing the thing that I've been running into that's like a big problem for me is finding a workspace, an actual workspace that I can store my yarn. I could just have like a nice little sheet office situation that is optimized for me to be able to work out of. So I want ideally a filming station, a place where I'm going to crochet, a place where I'm going to write up like blogs and patterns, and you know, like a desk area. So I need that. I need all of that, and I need a little coffee and tea station as well. But I can't find that. I want to rent out a space, like a co-working space, and I know sometimes you can find an office that's like really great for small businesses, but in my area I just haven't been able to find anything. So if you guys have any ideas about what I could do as far as creating my own office, my apartment is not really an option because our second bedroom, I really wanted to stay a second bedroom and not an office space, because we do have friends and family that come to visit. My family is far away. I'm from North Carolina, so my family is like 4 or so hours away, and when they come, I don't want to be fighting to have space for my So anyways, guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I am so excited for being able to finish all of these projects, as well as getting my pattern out and released to you just in time for fall. Yeah, that's it. Have a good day. Bye.